Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I am back again doing your April 2016 monthly tarot horoscopes. And this is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Leo. Now, I know I did give you guys a hard time in my mid-March readings. I know. And in my sex and relationship horoscopes as well. But what can I say? There's a lot going on, and for Leo, I feel, as far as relationships. But I'm interested to see what you guys get for these. And just as a quick update, excuse me, my voice is a little bit on the fritz here. Though, as a quick update, I did delete my members page on my website, and I'm letting everybody know you cannot book a reading through my website. My website has all my services, information, and payment, and pricing and everything, and as well as my availability. But the calendar was never set up so that people could book through my website. It was never intended for that purpose. So the way to book a reading, if you'd like a private reading, is to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com. All comments on my calendar page will be deleted, and I will send you an email that says, hey, just so you know, you can't book a reading through my website. So it's just one of those things that I'm letting everybody know. It's a policy from now on that I'm making, that I'm saying, okay, guys, the way to book a reading is you have to contact me. It's just how you have to do it. Maybe in the future it'll be different, but to have a private reading, you'll have to contact me. So, and I'll leave all that information down below too. Definitely check out my website though, because it does have all the information you're going to want about, like I said, my pricing, my schedule, everything. So, and then the other thing too, my sex and relation videos are for purchase and rental only. Okay, so for those people, some people are really confused. They're not sure because they think all my videos are free, and those are different than these. Those readings and those videos, I don't do that often. I'm trying to do them more, but I don't do them that often. And I've decided to rent them out because it's more, how do I say it? I was saying it's more cost effective, I guess. That's cost effective for me to rent them to people because I have to take time away from my private clients to record those videos. So I just want you guys to know that those videos I am trying to do more of, and those videos will be, still for rent or purchase only, continuing going forward, basically forever. Those are never going to be free videos again. So, as far as I can tell, as far as I know, I mean, maybe somewhere, 10 years down the line, I may do them, make them free again. But as of right now, for the foreseeable future, they're going to be for rental purchase. So let's just see what you guys get. Without further ado here, I have been shuffling quite a lot. And you may be in a relationship to a Cancer, because the Cancer also got the Emperor in the exact same position. It's very interesting. You have, the good news, I want to say there's a lot of good news here. The good news is that you are in character, Leo, for the month of April. Okay, which means there's a lot of fire cards here showing up, and that's a good sign for me as a reader that says, okay, you're acting very much in character. And things for the majority of April are going to go very well and very smoothly. I feel like the issue that you're going to have is later down the line, towards the end of April, you have the Ten of Swords here showing up. Now, I'm going to say that it's modified. There's several other cards that are around it that are really, really positive. So I want to say it's modified I don't feel like it's as bad as maybe, you know, if it was sort of a standalone situation or if it was clustered with a bunch of different things. You may be in a relationship to a Gemini also, because Gemini also got this card. I do see this as the Gemini, okay? This is the Ten of Swords. And you may also have some Gemini in your chart somewhere too. It's possible. But this is paranoia. It can be also the fear, I call it the holy terror, or fear card. Instead of it just being some small worries, this is like major downward spiral thinking. This is major worries, major stress, being completely overwhelmed. But the story of this card is a girl who's jumped off a cliff. Maybe wasn't paying too much of attention, has jumped off a cliff and is falling and is about to break every single bone in her body. And there's nothing there. There's like no safety net. There's no security. There's no person that's going to catch her. There's just like, there's nothing. And this is also jealousy and, you know, psychic attack too, in some cases. And I have seen it too. There's, you know, a couple of cards that represent court of attachment problems. And this can be a court of attachment problem where you meet someone and they take all of your energy. But because it's in the position of your attitude, I feel like it's really just a fear of failure. Fear of, you know, it's just fear of getting hurt, okay? And moving on. You know, it's sort of just like you're at this point of going into the future of I want to say like in a fresh kind of way, because you have a lot of fresh energy here, and you're afraid of change too, because you have the Death card right next to it. So this is a fear of change. In some cases, this may indicate an actual death in the family. And for some of you, there's some major things going on. Specifically, if you have any planets in Gemini, okay? Because Gemini got some serious stuff. There's some serious stuff going on for them in April. You're just afraid of change. You're afraid of making a change, of making a necessary change. And the reality is that if you don't make this change, you will not get to the World card, or will not have the abundance that you want, which is the World card. It's the having everything you could possibly want at your fingertips. The world being your oyster. You have both the Psychic and the Medium card here as well. So you have the Medium card, which is the High Priestess in the position of the immediate future. And then you have the World card. So when they show up together, this is someone who has a lot of psychic ability. They have psychic ability, and they have or mediumship ability. And, you know, I feel like there's also a fear of the future. It's sort of like you might not be able to see your future as clearly as you can see other people's. So there's something to be said here about, it can be also, maybe you have seen things and you're afraid of what you've seen, you know, in some ways. You're afraid of what things may come to pass. You're afraid of what maybe you watch my videos and I've said something, you know, there's some fears there, you know, about what things could happen. Because to me, this is also paranoia. There's paranoia here. Paranoia. And to me, you are creating your own storm. I don't feel like really... I feel like you are at a place where you would rather jump off the cliff and break every bone in your body than make a change. So there is some resistance. There's resistance. You're being, I want to say stubborn, because you did get the Emperor also in that position, which I believe Gemini did, okay? No, I believe Cancer did. Sorry, was it Cancer? Yeah, Cancer got the Emperor there too. So, if you're in a relationship with a Cancer, that relationship cannot continue. That's my feeling. Something does need to change there. And it really, if you're in a relationship with anybody else, you need to. I feel like this is maybe a situation where you're staying for the kids, or you had a family or something. This is wanting to stay for the kids, because you do have there's the kids card here, the family card showing up. It can be also you're paranoid and scared for your children. If you're watching this, you're really scared that something bad's going to happen to them. I feel like it's modified, though. I feel like it's modified because there's all these other positive cards around it, sort of supporting it. So I feel like I want to say, for the most part, if it's about your kids, you need to worry about yourself rather than about your kids, because the more you worry about your kids, there's nothing really you can do, okay? The more you worry about your kids, the more, you're sending them negative energy. Okay, and things are going to happen because fate is to me, the Emperor is the fate card. Fate saying, okay, this is how it's going to be, whether you like it or not. And it's unfortunate, but that's how it goes with fate. Nobody can really mess with fate. You just can't. And if you're going through divorce, this is where I want to say, this is a difficult divorce in some cases. Okay, this is difficult because you want what you want, and you're trying to, I feel like you're trying to get your way. The Emperor is about trying to get your way and making things happen when you want them to happen, and sort of manipulating them into being how you want them to be. It could also be worried about pets too, if you have pets, especially if you have some larger animals, horses. You may be really worried about horses. I just got horses for some reason. If you have 2 horses, you could have 2 dogs also that you're worried about. Some of you may have dogs that are older, and you may have to let those dogs go, because this may be an actual, they may be actually on their last literal legs, okay? And it's going to be hard for you because they are your family. I feel like I just want to say they are your family. Now, this is just something specific that's coming through for some people. I'm not saying for everyone. I want to say your kids are safe. Your kids are fine. But at the same time, a lot of things can happen, in life. And so, but the more you worry about it, the worse it's going to be. I feel like it's just I feel like it's more fear of failure, fear of what the world holds for you, you're afraid of the world. In a way, it's sort of like you hating the world. You hate the world. You hate what it's done to you. You hate the fact that maybe you haven't gotten your way. Maybe you do have a family, and maybe there's some issues around the family too. And it's not just with kids. It could be kids, but it also could be relatives in some way. I want to say relatives. You have some issues with some relatives. I mean, but who doesn't? You do. I do want to say relatives. I can see a lot of people, like in a room, like it's crowded. It's very crowded. You may not actually have your own space in some way. You may live with your parents, or you may, even if you don't live with your parents, there's something about your family, your parents are suffocating you in some way. There's just this element of suffocation. It may be you're just exhausted. Maybe you have kids and they're exhausting you. You're putting every effort and all your energy into kids, or you're thinking about having a family, or you really, really want to have a family, but for whatever reason, you're not taking care of yourself. You're suffering, in some cases, suffering from malnutrition. Now, some of you may be suffering from malnutrition anyways, and not being worried about children, not thinking about a family. Some of you are wanting to start a family, okay? Some of you are paranoid that you're not going to be able to for some reason. I feel like that is something that's really strongly on your mind. I feel like I pulled the Chariot card right after that, and I feel like you're going to be successful in having a family, okay? I feel like that's going to happen. So I want you to put that fear out of your mind. And if you weren't so afraid, and if you weren't so resistant, or if you weren't so, I want to say controlling. There's some element of control. Again, you may have some strong Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo in your chart, and if you do, Leo's a fixed sign. So if it locks in, like any top 3, their ascendant, sun, or moon, with any other fixed signs, that can make you very stubborn. It can make you want to get things done your way. It's your way or the highway. I feel like if you weren't so paranoid about failing, you would be very successful. But because you're paranoid, or because you're, you're trying to make it, to force it. I want to say some of you are trying to force something. There's this element of control. You do have the Knight of Swords in the recent past, and that is one of the control cards. I just want to say you're trying to force something. For those of you who just have a family, I feel like maybe you have some young kids. I see like a mom with some young kids, and they're draining you, and they're making you very tired. And I don't feel like, again, it's modified by all the positive cards around it. I don't feel like that's going to last very long. I feel like you're going to get your energy back. I feel like all the energy is here. To me, the Death card is firepower. You do have the Four of Swords, which is needing rest as the foundation. So maybe that's what really is going on. Some of you are just feeling like, feeling very tired, very drained by the end of April. It's sort of coloring the whole thing. It's kind of clouding the whole thing. So it's sort of just like, you may be very tired. Like every day you wake up and you're tired. You're putting what you can into your kids and your schedule, but you're tired. It's like when you wake up, you're tired and you're drained already. And then by the end of April, you're like really drained. You're like, like totally zonked out. And way beyond tired, like your energy, you're giving too much of your energy away. But I do feel like you're going to get back. I feel like you do need it. I feel like it's a health-related situation. Again, this is health-related stuff. For those of you who are older, this is blood pressure problems. I want to say heart problems. I want to say something to do with blood valve, like heart valve problems. I mean, this is older stuff, but, there may be some blockage. This could even be blood clot problems for some people. For women, this is like having the period from hell. Sorry guys, but I hate to tell you, I mean, that's really what I'm seeing here, what I'm feeling here. Some of you, this could be, and I hate to say this, this could be a miscarriage in some cases, because you have the High Priestess in the immediate future, which can indicate pregnancy, and then later you may lose it for some reason. You may be paranoid about losing it. See, this is the whole family thing again, too. This is a family thing again. This is like you wanting a family, and maybe you're having a difficult time with it. I do feel like you're going to be successful, but you have some health issues, so that you need to take care of first. And I want to say your diet needs to be changed. Your diet needs to be changed. Your hormones need to be worked on. You need to be exercising. Like, to me, this is the sports card. The Chariot is, to me, the sports card. You need to be running and exercising and dieting and like being very careful about what you eat. Being very careful with the fats you eat. I want to say you have a terrible diet, or you're not eating enough. To me, it could go either way. Some of you are like really, really, really thin, and you are not eating enough. And I feel like you're having a difficult time with pregnancies. And you also may already have a family and get pregnant again and then go through a miscarriage towards the end of April. Or you're just paranoid of going through that because that's what's happened before for you. This is a repeat pattern. I feel like for some of you it's a repeat because I feel it's just a vibration. It's what I'm picking up. It's sort of just a repeat thing. And some of you are overweight significantly, and it's a hormone problem. You need to see a naturopath. You need to go to a natural doctor. You can get on Skype and do Skype sessions with a naturopath. Some, not all, but some naturopaths. I mean, there's different countries that have different laws and all that stuff, but I'm sure you can find a naturopath somewhere in the world that can guide you through herbs to take, hormone replacement if you need to take that. Any kind of supplements that would help, encourage a pregnancy. You need to really look into that, because I think whatever's happening with you, as far as you losing it, I feel like it's because of a health situation. It's your health. And it just maybe take one small thing. And some of you, it's interesting, my guide is showing me this online, and it's coming through really strongly, so I want to tell you. It's called chasteberry or Vitex, okay? It's a supplement, it's an herb. You need to talk to a naturopath, but also read some of the things about it online. It's not for everyone, but for those of you who are struggling, you may want to check it out. I feel like Vitex may help you. There was someone that I read about someone who was suffering miscarriages, and she was told not to take it through her entire pregnancy, but she actually ended up taking it through her entire pregnancy and actually sustained the pregnancy. When she would take it only for part of the pregnancy, she would miscarry because she didn't have enough progesterone for some reason, or she didn't have enough of her hormone. There was hormonal imbalance. So you need to check out Vitex, okay? It's called Vitex, V-I-T-E-X, and or chasteberry, okay? It's the same thing, chasteberry. It's not good for women. I don't believe it's good for women with fibroids, but you're going to want to check it out. If you have fibroids, you're going to know what I'm talking about. Some of you maybe that's part of the problem. But again, fibroids are an issue because of estrogen dominance and not enough circulation through your body, and not enough like actual running, actual exercise. You need to avoid a sedentary lifestyle. So I know I'm going on about that, but I feel like that's what I'm seeing here. To have the High Priestess followed by the Death card, this may be an actual death in the family. Because the High Priestess can represent death. There's a lot of like death and rebirth stuff going on in this reading. So birth and death. So some of you are experiencing a new birth. Some of you are new moms, and high five, congratulations on that. If you're a new mom, I feel like this could be a new mom. You may be like hemorrhaging or something, or having blood problems like after the pregnancy. Something like that may be going on with you. And again, you need to see, I'm not a doctor, you need to see a medical practitioner for that. And so yes, there's a lot of rebirth stuff here. There's a lot of rebirth things. The Death card doesn't always mean death. I mean, I see it mostly as transformation and change. So for most of you, it's going to be changes. But for some of you, it's like actual death, because to me, the High Priestess can indicate death. So it's weird for me to actually see these together. I don't actually see these together very much. In fact, maybe once or twice, a couple times maybe, together. It's just very strong major arcana energy. So something's going on mid-April, okay? For a lot of people, it's mid-April is the time. Again, there's a strong Gemini. Gemini has something going on mid-April too. It's a strong energy. Someone in the family may be passing away. That's what I'm getting, death of a loved one in some cases. In other cases, you're having a baby. If you're not having a baby, it's change, okay? It's change. This is also the truth. The High Priestess is the truth. And to me, it's knowing what you need to do to change and figuring out, already knowing the answer, knowing that you have to change, but maybe not wanting to change. That's part of it. Knowing that you need to, and the universe is like, you're going to have to change no matter what, basically. That's kind of my feeling. It's like, even if you don't want to, this is the energy. So things are, again, similar to what I said before for the sex and relationship videos. Things kind of happening, I feel like, because as a result of the eclipses, and because status quo things cannot remain in place. It just can't be, there just can't be a lot of status quo stuff. Now, you do have the Strength card crossing you, which is very positive. Again, a Major Arcana card. And this means you're going to have the strength to get through whatever it is that the universe is testing you with, okay? This can also indicate sitting on the fence for a long time, not knowing what to do, but I feel like it's less about that. I really feel like it's about you're being tested with some major stuff in mid-April, beginning to mid-April. If you feel like you're stressed and you're struggling, you're tired, know that will change, okay? That will change. So you're not going to be in this place of fear and worry and paranoia for too much longer. I feel like that will change because the death card is coming in from the outside. It's sort of just like the universe is saying, it's almost just like a cannonball. You know, and you're going, oh my God, Elizabeth, oh my God. I'm going to say, well, you know, it's like it's a major event, okay? Major event. Some of you, there's fires. This has to do with fire. So you should be careful. Like, this is like fires, actual literal fires. Either, I want to say forest fires or like something, you know, this is like accidental fires, fires on a property. Best case scenario, this is like a bonfire, hanging out with friends. I see it more as actual literal fire as like a forest fire. It could just be that you're on fire too. You were the girl or guy on fire, which is awesome. Okay. But at the same time, it's sort of just like the person that's very, very famous, or the person that's in the public eye. Sometimes they get kind of into their head too much, and there's all this paranoia. And again, paranoia comes through really, really strong for you. Fear comes through really, really strong for you. You need to worry, you need to stop with the fear stuff, because I don't feel like it's going to last for very long. And I really just feel like there's a fear of change, but any change that comes about is really positive, similar to some of the other signs. I feel like for you, for things to change, the outcome for that to be the world, that's amazing. For you to get the things to change and get the Chariot, that's success. That's a job. That's a job that you love. That's being successful at what you do. For things to be very positive with your children. You know, again, that's linking up there as well. The only issue is I feel like you're just resisting what needs to kind of happen. And maybe it's moving on, or it's a move for some of you. Or maybe it's travel, because you do have the Ace of Swords in the center of everything, which is making your mind up, making the decision. Because I do feel you have been sitting on the fence for some time about things. Because the Strength card can indicate someone who's been sitting on the fence for a long time and needs to make up their mind. But I think you're going to make up your mind. I feel like you're going to move on from the negativity. You're going to make a decision that's going to push things forward for you in a much positive way. In a way, you've got so much, like, in the beginning of April, it's sort of like you're asleep. It's sort of just like you're asleep, or you're living sort of in that sleep land. Or like maybe you're going on vacation. Some of you may be going on vacation at that time, or traveling at that time. But I see this as more as rest time. It's a time of rest in the beginning of April. And then it's sort of like you get, the engines start revving up, and you kind of get going, and things kind of start to move along. And then the universe sends you this boom, okay? Like shake up kind of thing, which rattles you. I want to say it rattles you, really significantly rattles you, shakes you. And there's a shake up. And then you have to figure out what you're going to do. And I feel like your kids are going to be fine. And I feel like you just need to kind of work on what you're going to change and going with it. Some of you, it's a relationship shake up. You may be in a relationship to an Aquarius, or someone who's just very controlling. Maybe another fire sign too, Sagittarius or Aries. I feel like there's a strong Gemini thing going on here. It could even be a Libra, but I feel like it's a strong Gemini thing. And I feel like in some cases this, I pulled another card, that's the Three of Swords. To have the 3 and the 10, to me this is heartbreak. There's something that's changing, and this is heartbreak, becoming heartbroken over something, being, somebody is stabbed in the back, But because it's in the position of your attitude, and because I've pulled the 3 of Swords, and that's sort of like what's going on beginning of April, it may just be like someone has done you wrong in some case, or you've done somebody wrong, and that causes problems. That causes some problems later down the line. You may not all be over past hurts, and you may be afraid of getting into a new relationship, afraid of the future, afraid of the world, afraid of change because of it. But I do believe April's going to start maybe slow and then kind of pick up speed. That's kind of how I see it. And then come to like a full-on stop later, and you're going to have to figure out where you're going to go from there. So a lot of, not total starts and stops. I feel like Cancer had a lot of starts and stops. For you, it's a little bit more, it's kind of slow to start, slow to begin, you need to kind of go out with a little bit of speed. You need to pick up speed. But what's going to happen is it's sort of like the universe is saying to you, okay, right now you're like asleep. You're like, please wake me up when we get there, right? And then, maybe you wake up a little bit and you get a little energy, and the universe is like, no, their energy levels are not what I would like, okay? So then they're going to send you all this boom energy, which is it's going to shock you a little bit. And there's going to be maybe some shock. There's something shocking that happens to you, or something shocking that you find out, or something that's going to really make it so you cannot avoid change any longer. Maybe your landlord's going to say, hey, you need to move. Maybe your parents are going to say you can no longer live here if you're living with your parents. Maybe you've been traveling abroad and maybe you lose your passport. Something happens and it's like you get like a little heart attack. It's like a big shock. For some of you, it could be a break-in or something where you live, or it could be something that just, it could be a car-related thing. I don't feel like it's so much accident stuff, although it could be, because Gemini also, I felt like this for some people, it's accident, like car accident, but I feel like it's less that. I feel like it's more just something that's going to shock you, and you're going to have to make a change, and it's not going to be necessarily to your liking at that moment, but it will bring a lot of success, and it'll be good for your kids. I want to say it'll be good for your kids. It may not seem like it is, but I feel like it will be. Later down the line, if you have kids. And then it's just when you kind of like are like picking up steam and you're like, okay, things are changing, things are going to be moving along, you kind of maybe put on the brakes, you're like, no, this is the scream, no, but you're ready for it. You are ready for it, whether you think you are or not. There's a lot of fruit flies in here. Sorry. A lot of fruit flies. And it's like, my guide is showing me when, I was like, I had to move again. And I was like, no. I was just like screaming in my mind, screaming. But at the same time, and that was just before I moved here. That was the last place I lived at before I moved here. Well, not the very last, but the third to last place that I moved to before I moved here. So that was the last place on the East Coast, rather. So, but they said that I was ready, and I was, in a way, I was ready, but you don't feel ready at the time. So you need to make sure that you are not creating your own storm. You are not blocking your own blessings through any kind of fear. If you become afraid to do anything towards the end of April, just put it in the back of your mind and be like, no, I have the confidence and courage to do this. And Leos need that courage, that extra, boost of love. And it may just be that you don't feel like loved and supported towards the end of April. You don't have anybody supporting you. You may be one of those people that's taking care of your kids and doing it all, and you don't have anybody. And it may be very frustrating for you. But I don't feel like that's going to last. Again, I don't feel like it's going to be going to last. I feel like you're going to get, I feel like, good news towards the end of April, which is going to change things. You may get a call on something, maybe a new job or something new that's going to kind of happen. And that's pretty much all that I'm getting. So thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, Google Plusing all my videos. I really appreciate it. And I will be back again for more videos. either mid-April or June. Did I say June or May? Sorry. Mid-April or May. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the mid-April videos, but stay tuned. Definitely follow me on Twitter because I do post, things on there that say what I'm up to as far as my channel. And I'll be back for more. So I send you big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care. All the best. Bye.